I recently spent a few days in Wisconsin with my friends at Showchrome, and I had the opportunity to ride two of their luxury motorcycles. Actually, one was a motorcycle, a 2021 Honda Goldwing Tour DCT, a motorcycle I'm very familiar with. As you may already know, not only do I own a 2018 Goldwing Tour DCT, but I also produce a series of maintenance videos for this motorcycle. Now, the other luxury ride is actually a trike, a Can-Am Spyder RT, a top-of-the-line Spyder with all of the bells and whistles, and this is my first time riding the Spyder RT. So I thought, since I've ridden both back-to-back, why not do a comparison? Maybe you're trying to decide between a Goldwing and a Can-Am Spyder, and if so, watch this video and I'll give you some of my observations.
It's Cruiseman's Garage, brought to you by Showchrome.
First, I need to offer a disclaimer. This is not a fair fight for the Can-Am. I've ridden my Goldwing for tens of thousands of miles, and I've only had a day and a half with the Spyder. There are a lot of features I simply didn't have time to cover in this video. So Can-Am, if you're listening, get me an RT back in Dallas so I can do a more fair, long-term, in-depth review. Both of these bikes belong to Showchrome. As you may already know, Showchrome is a motorcycle aftermarket accessory company, and they offer dozens of accessories for both the Honda Goldwing and the Can-Am Spyder, as well as other motorcycle and Can-Am models. When I picked up the Spyder RT from Showchrome, Thor was kind enough to help show me around the bike, and I'm going to call it a bike, so forgive me for that. We spent nearly 20 minutes just trying to figure out how to get my phone paired to the Can-Am. Pairing my Bluetooth headset to the Spyder was pretty straightforward, but all of the other tech on this vehicle seems very complicated. It's just not as refined as the Goldwing. Just a few miles from Showchrome, I stopped at a local store to pick up some batteries, and I struggled just to figure out how to start the Spyder. For me personally, I'm going to say that the Honda Goldwing wins in the area of technology. If for no other reason, just the ability to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto puts it way ahead of the Spyder. Also, the Goldwing has its own built-in navigation, while the Spyder relies on a third-party app on your smartphone. It's difficult to compare the handling characteristics of a trike or a reverse trike with two front wheels, comparing that to a two-wheel motorcycle. Now, coming from a motorcycle, the Can-Am is a totally different experience. The Spyder does not lean into the turns, so the rider is pushed to the opposite side of the vehicle in a turn. Just like in a car, when you make a hard right turn, the inertia throws your body the opposite direction. Riding the Spyder is comparable to riding an ATV or a snowmobile when it comes to handling. Now, I'm not suggesting that one is better than the other. It just takes getting used to, and I'm sure there are plenty of Can-Am owners who prefer the handling of three wheels over two. The Spyder does have power-assisted steering, and it's very sensitive. Only the slightest input is needed to change direction. Now, at first, this makes it feel a bit twitchy, but Can-Am owners have suggested I probably needed to loosen my grip on the handlebars and use a lighter touch, and that's a fair point.
See, that's what I mean. On the highway, it feels twitchy. If you put the least little bit of input into these handlebars, this thing moves. So it's a little unsettling at first until you get used to it.
Now, once you get used to it, you can see that the Spyder would be quite fun on twisty roads, and the two tires up front make it extremely stable on wet or slippery surfaces. We took the Spyder down some gravel roads to get some photos, something that would feel pretty sketchy on a heavy two-wheel Goldwing. I'm going to say handling is a draw. If you find yourself riding down a lot of gravel or dirt roads, however, the Spyder is going to be a better choice than a Goldwing for sure. The Spyder RT has a 1330cc Rotax inline 3-cylinder liquid-cooled engine that produces 115 horsepower and 96 pound-feet of torque. The 6-speed is semi-automatic, and upshifts are done using paddle shifters on the left-hand control unit. There is no manual clutch, so all you have to do is hit the button with your thumb to shift. You can downshift using a similar paddle under your forefinger, or the transmission will downshift for you. A DCT transmission would be a welcome addition to the Spyder RT. The Goldwing has the popular Boxer 6-cylinder 1.8-liter engine that produces comparable horsepower and torque figures to the Spyder RT, but the Goldwing just feels much more powerful. Fully fueled, the Spyder is probably carrying 150 or more pounds than the Wing, because it has a dry weight of 1,021 pounds. I'm not saying that the Spyder feels underpowered, it doesn't, but it does not feel as sporty as the Goldwing, so I'm going to give a point to Honda on power. Both of these rides are very comfortable. The Goldwing has a silky smooth engine, great suspension, and long-distance touring legacy of which no other motorcycle can boast. The only thing missing from the Goldwing in the area of comfort, in my opinion, is a really good quality seat. And this is where the Spyder RT has the advantage. The factory seat on the RT is one of the most comfortable OEM seats I've seen. The huge floorboards allow the rider to change foot positions at will, and with the Showchrome highway pegs, you can literally stretch all the way out. I'm sorry, Honda, but the Spyder RT is going to win out on comfort. The 2021 Plus Goldwing has 121 liters of storage, which is 11 liters more than the 2018 to 2020 models. The Spyder RT Limited, however, has a whopping 177 liters of storage. 2 decent-sized saddlebags, a deep and spacious trunk, and a front storage compartment make this a serious long-distance touring machine. Can-Am gets the win for storage. Now, I've never personally worked on a Spyder, so I'm only going from what some Can-Am owners have told me, and I'm told that it's really not a fun bike to work on. For a complex, sophisticated motorcycle, the Goldwing is surprisingly approachable when it comes to owner maintenance. And let's not forget, if you own a Goldwing, you can purchase my maintenance video series, which guides you through the step-by-step process of the most common maintenance tasks. To my knowledge, there is no comparable comprehensive maintenance video series available for the Spyder RT, so the Honda Goldwing gets a point on maintenance. The Spyder RT requires premium fuel, 91 octane or better, while the Goldwing will run just fine on 87 octane, and probably 86 depending on where you ride. The Spyder RT also gulps fuel compared to the Goldwing, with owners claiming around 30 miles per gallon to be a pretty good target. The Goldwing will routinely exceed 40 miles per gallon. So while the Spyder has a larger fuel tank, the range is probably about the same as the Goldwing, maybe around 200-220 miles. Goldwing gets the point for cost of fuel. Now, the Goldwing is a beautiful machine with futuristic styling. I personally love it. But when you pull into a parking lot, to the average Joe, it's just another motorcycle. But when you pull up on a Can-Am Spyder RT, the typical response is going to be, what the hell is that? The Spyder RT garners a lot of curiosity because it's so different and unique, and there aren't that many of them on the road yet. It's sort of an oddity. Nevertheless, it has its own flavor of modern, cool styling. It's a very good-looking machine. I'm giving that point to Can-Am. Now, I think I'm going to end this comparison right here, with the Goldwing getting 5 points and the Can-Am getting 4. Of course, I'm a Goldwing guy. I've got to let Honda win this one. Again, I'd really like to have a Spyder RT for an extended period of time to do some long-distance, multi-day touring, really get the feel of the machine. If you own a Can-Am Spyder RT, let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me on some of these points or what you disagree with. These are two completely different machines. but they both share one thing in common. They're both at the top of the luxury category for their segment. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and please click that like button. That really helps my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe down below, and I'll see you on the next Cruiseman's Reviews.